Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. Today is Wednesday. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful day. Today we have a special guest on the show. We have a Marcus Lyon. He is the survivor of the Atlanta spa shooting, and Marcus was a first-time client. And this location, the alleged killer, I guess I need to use the word alleged. Marcus was at the Acworth location in Cherokee County. So we wanted to talk to we want to talk to Marcus for him to share his story. He also has a GoFundMe account, and we're going to talk about the GoFundMe account and everything. So the Women Are Worthy show, we're honored. It's a pleasure to speak with Mr. Marcus Lyon. Hello, Marcus.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. My brother, I am so happy and so glad that you're alive, and I wanted you to share with us your story because you also have a GoFundMe account, and we wanted to talk about just you share your story if you can recollect. Again, if this is going to trigger anyone, we want people to know it may trigger you, so you may not want to watch this. So Marcus, whenever you feel that you don't want to talk about something, this is your platform. You're welcome not to talk about a particular topic or an incident. So can you please share your story with us?
Yeah, so pretty much, I woke up with a back problem. I have a little 4-year-old son. He sleeps with me every night. So his foot's always in my back. Like all the time. Also, I'm a FedEx delivery driver as well.
Mhm.
So I'm always in and out of the truck, always carrying boxes. So one day I just decided to go get a massage, and I was always in that area. I went there, was greeted by one woman, and she was like, "Hey, you want to come in get a massage?" I went in there, and laid down. She came back in, just started massaging my neck. She probably massaged my neck, maybe 3 rubs on my neck, and then all of a sudden I heard that first gunshot go off. And after that first gunshot went off, that's when we both stood up, looked at each other, telling me to wait, wait, wait. And I guess she was trying to figure out what was going on. I heard that second gunshot. I just jumped behind the bed to just to hide. Didn't know what else to do. Just tried to instincts, just jump. And once that third gunshot went off, I saw her get shot in her head. And after she got shot in her head, she just instantly dropped, fell. I'm probably maybe 2 feet away from her. And after that, kept hearing more gunshots go off, and then all of a sudden, while I'm still laying there, I'm thinking in my head I'm about to die. It's I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, why did I even come here? It's so much stuff was going through my brain at that time. And once I heard the little cattle bells go off on the door, because they got cattle bells on the door where you can hear if somebody's coming in or out of the building. I heard the cattle bells go off. I'm a legend thinking that he left and stuff, but I'm still laying there, just waiting. I'm butt naked, still laying behind the bed, and hoping he don't come in there. But he didn't. Then I start hearing a little bit of commotion going on. Then I jumped back up, put my pants back on, and ran outside to go grab my firearm. And then I ran back inside. While I came back inside, the woman in there was telling me to call the police, yelling, screaming, telling me to call the police. Then I see a Mexican guy get shot in his forehead. He's still up walking around, blood still gushing down from his face and everything. And then while I'm calling the police, I'm walking around looking at everybody and seeing if they're still alive. And, obviously nobody was still alive. I think the only person that was alive was still the owner, but the owner was, still she got shot in her head too. And she was taking her last little breaths that she could take. And then I think she later died at the hospital. So it was crazy to me. I couldn't believe it. Very surreal for me.
So on the location that you were at, you're the only survivor from that location. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the other Mexican guy that's there, I think he still survived as well, but he's in critical condition at the hospital. I think he needs surgery, I think, from the last time I heard and stuff. So I'm hoping he's doing good as well and stuff. So
Because you said you work for FedEx, so of course you had to take some time off, but you mentioned earlier you went back to work because you still have bills to pay, life still goes on. So how are you dealing with it right now? Because I want people to understand you have a GoFundMe account, and I'm going to tell everyone the GoFundMe account. The GoFundMe account, we have a link in the chat, but the GoFundMe account, it's called it's you can donate to Cherokee County Young's YOUNG''S massage parlor survivor, and we also have a link. The GoFundMe account is there. So what did you, when this was going on, my question to you is, you said a lot of things was going through your head. I just can't phantom this. So I just like you, if you can just talk about this for a minute, because you're just, Chris B said you're describing a scene from the movie. First of all, I'm so glad that you survived. And what was going through your head? Because we were talking about it. So what was going through your head at that moment when you heard the pop, pop?
Why did I come here? You know, that's the first thing that popped in my head. You know, I'm like thinking I'm about to die. You know, I wasn't scared. You know, at the moment, it's too late to be scared once it happens. You know, I always tell everybody that, you know, why you scared? It's too late, you know. And, you know, once that happened, it popped up in my head. I instantly, you know, I had to think about what I'm going to do next. You know, my next move got to be the best move. And, you know, and I just jumped behind the bed, and, you know, and kept hearing the gunshots go off, and I'm just thinking in my head, I put my head down to the ground, just like, man, I'm about to die, you know. And I look back, and I'm looking inside the door, you know, because I could still see the door open, because there was drapery on the bed where he couldn't see underneath the bed, you know. Already far in the back, where even on the backside there's, you know, cover where you couldn't see. So, you know, I'm just, you know, in my head, just, man, I'm about to die. Like I couldn't believe it. My first time in here, I didn't know what to do. Like, the guy's pretty much lucky that I even left my gun in the car, because I normally don't. It's always on me. It's literally sitting next to me right now. You know, it's a whole total, it's an eye opener. You know, like I look at people different now. You know, in the stores, I'm literally looking at you like it's, because it can happen to anybody. You know, you never know. That's why my girl always asks me, why you have a gun? Why you always got to buy guns? You know, now she sees why, because it can literally happen to anybody. You know, and I was just hoping I wasn't gonna die, because, you know, I had to go pick up my son. Literally 30 minutes later, you know, I went to go get a massage for a minute, and then I had to go pick him up. And it's even crazier because I had to bring my son back to the scene. You know, because you know, my girl was at work, and I had to go pick him up. You know, the police officer actually drove me there, you know, to go pick him up. And, you know, my first thing that came out of my son's mouth, are we going to jail? You know, that's the first
because
thing.
he saw the police.
Yeah, because he saw the police. Yeah, that was the first thing, you know. But now, like, you know, even the first night, I didn't even sleep with them. You know, I slept on the couch, you know, because I couldn't believe it. You know, it was
surreal.
Yeah, too real for me. You know, I couldn't fathom that around me, you know. And then, you know, I kept, you know, just hugging my son. I tell my girl I love her every day now. Like, it's a lot. Like, I think about it every day. I wake up, that's the first thing I hear is the gunshot. You know, it's not that I'm, you know, like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, I think about it every day. You know, I really can't explain it to you. You know, it's very, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even.
What it sounds like to me, and, you know, you could tell me if I'm wrong, because, you know, again, this is your platform, not mine. You're just here to tell your story. But it almost sounds like when you hear of someone coming back from the war, and they were actually in the battlefield and gunfires. That's what it sounds like to me a little. PTSD, of course, but it's like, you know, you were in the line of fire and you survived. You know, so that's what a little bit it sounds like. Again, I'm not living your experience, but listening to military people, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. It's pretty much like that. You're right. You know, you definitely are.
Because I'm gonna share this with you. After you and I we had talked several days ago. I went to my chiropractor's office, so I got hurt, and I had to get a massage, and I thought about you. And I said, no, Bessie, you need to come in here right next to me. We're going to do it right under the covers. Bessie, you're going to stay right here with me. Because you start to think that way. And again, it didn't happen to me, but that's what I thought, because the worst thing I want is my stuff is in the car And I'm here after listening to your story. And, you know, because we shared some details, and I'm like, I am looking around if I'm in a spot now, like, where's the exit? That's what I'm doing now. So what have you learned from this? Because you've gone through this. What have you learned from this? And what are you most grateful for?
I keep my gun now. That's what I learned. I learned to keep it on me at all times now. Not because, like I said before, who would ever thought I needed a gun inside of a massage parlor? I kept it in there just to make sure the girls felt, comfortable. Oh, he has a gun. Kind of feel antsy a little bit towards them. But other than that, I just can't believe it happened to me. And what was the other question you said?
What are you most grateful for right now?
I'm grateful for life now. Like my mom was watching over me. My mom actually passed away 2 years ago of stage 4 colon cancer. Of August 9th, 2019. So I definitely felt like she watched over me. That's why this is her, and so that's why I kind of felt like she was watching over me at that time. And I also kind of felt like the Asian woman or Korean, I forgot what they said. I felt like she also saved my life too, because if she wasn't dead laying there on that ground inside the bed, I felt like he probably would have opened up doors or something like that. But since she was laying there, I felt like he didn't have to come by.
And that's what I want to talk about, because we also have this movement going on about Asian hate. But, and they always talk about with the Black community. But in your case, from what I'm hearing, she saved your life. So exactly how did that transpire?
That's what I told everybody, because that's how I felt at the time. I still feel like that at this time as well, because, she was there. She kind of, because at first I was going to move her out the way and get her, hey, wait, but she's telling me to wait, kind of pushing me to the side a little bit, because I'm a guy. I'm going to make sure she's like, that's why I went there. But, she kind of told me to wait, and that's what I did. And she actually lost her life for that, So it was, I couldn't believe it. Like,
your story is riveting, because it just shows how we need our community. And this woman gave her life because she because I think you told me she told you to go down or lay down or something like that.
she told me to wait.
And she told you to wait, and she saved your life. And
Yeah.
when he left, so did you make eye contact when the guy went out the door? Like, how was he caught?
We didn't see each other. Like, he didn't see me. I didn't see him. I know he went off and shot like 2 other massage parlors as well. That's what another thing that kind of I be so much just replays in my head now that the event happened. It's like, what if I did have my gun? What if I had my gun when I first was walking in there and he just started shooting? Like, I was like, oh, what if I had my gun in there while I was in there? It's like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It plays in my head, and my heart starts beating fast.
Mm-hmm. And again, we don't want you to trigger anything, because then too, you start thinking like, maybe I could have prevented this, maybe this, but you know what? So my question to you is, what can we as the community do to help you? Because again, you've gone through something traumatic. What can the community do to help you? We know you have a GoFundMe, because this is the time now the community needs to rally around you. You're one of us. I don't care if you're in Atlanta, you live up here, you're one of us. And it doesn't matter if someone lives in Timbuktu. We need to make you. And let me tell you something, my brother, I'm so proud of you, because you thought about therapy. So the GoFundMe account is for therapy. So we want people to know that, please donate to his GoFundMe account. We have a link in the chat. And if you're not looking at the chat, depends on where you are, we basically, please donate to Cherokee, Cherokee County, Young's, Young''s massage parlor survivor. So he is not waiting for someone to tell him what he needs. He wants therapy. So, his job doesn't provide that. He works for FedEx, but his job doesn't provide this, because, nowadays, a lot of companies are not providing insurance, or it's a lot of money for the deductible. He has to pay a lot of the deductible. So what I'm pleading for the community is to please donate to his GoFundMe account. Please donate. So what made you decide, or did you talk to someone and they said, you know what, you need to seek therapy?
I have a friend that's in the military. He's heard this all back in California. And he was like, "Hey, Marcus, I heard this, man. You need to make sure you go get some counseling because PTSD is real. And you won't know that you have it. You'll have it and wouldn't even know it because you might one day something might just trigger you and you might just snap. And you'll never know." And stuff. And even my girlfriend was telling me I need to go get counseling. A couple of people that I know as well. So that's why I just decided to go ahead and get this done and stuff to try to figure out what I need to do. I've called a couple of places. They telling me I couldn't believe how expensive it is, but I'm definitely trying to figure some things out so I can do some classes to talk to people and stuff. Even though I kind of talking to people, it's like. But I know this is what I need to do, especially for my 4-year-old son.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows I'm good and stuff. So,
well, we're definitely the Women Are Worthy show. We're definitely going to see how we can help you. We're going to make sure we can get some people to, see if we can find some therapists. Maybe they may want to donate their time or their services. And I'm going to get with you later to find out, like who the mayor and all that kind of stuff, how we can help. Because at the end of the day, to see that you walked out there and you have a son. How old's your son? 4?
4 years old.
4 years old. You have a 4-year-old son, and and I know your life. I don't want to say your life was flashing before you, but I know you were thinking about him when the pop, pop, pop was going, and you saw what was happening. So the fact that God did not leave you, that God didn't bring you out of this for nothing. So I know you're going to be doing great things with this new lease on life, so to speak. Yes. So what do you hope to come out of this situation?
To be honest with you, I don't even know. I'm just grateful to be alive. Like I think about it every day. Like I said, I'm so grateful to still be here. I'm so grateful to be here right now talking to you. You wouldn't even know who I was. There's a lot of things. Like I said, it just comes in my head and replays a lot.
It's almost like you have your birthday, but it almost appears like that day when you survived, that was another birthday. So you better survive. You better make sure that you have 2 birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you celebrate 2 birthdays, that day and the actual day you came from your mother's womb. And again, I want to commend you for just being who you are. And, you survived, you're telling your story, but you are also, what I want you to understand, you're putting it out there, because especially in the African-American community, we don't believe in therapy. Not all of us, but it's just especially with Black men, there's a stereotype with therapy. And you're actually speaking to your Army friend, you're actually going out there and that's what you're doing. You're seeking therapy. So I don't want anyone to be embarrassed about seeking therapy. So how are the nights for you when you go to sleep, if you are going to sleep?
To be honest with you, I sleep like a baby. Be honest with you, I really do. It's just when I wake up is when I think about it.
Okay, so when you're sleeping, you don't think about it, but when you're up,
about it or anything like that. But I definitely, when I wake up, like that's the kind of like the first thing that pops up in my head sometimes.
Right. So are you going, when you go, are you going into places and are you looking for like, okay, or are you looking at people like, I wonder if this person could be that? I wonder if this person, are you thinking that?
I really am. Even when I was at Kroger's the other day, I caught myself doing it. It wasn't really, I just caught myself doing it. And, I guess, what was it? We was out there trying to buy some sandwich meat. And I see a guy with his mask, with a little mask on and his hoodie on. Just thinking, bro, why you got your hoodie on? I'm over here, my mind just, I don't know. It was very crazy. You know what I mean? I had my hand on my side, just like, oh, you better not. That's all I'm thinking in my head. It's like it's a lot of different things that play in my head now, and it's too real for me. I really couldn't believe it.
Well, your phone did really well tonight, because we had that conversation until a few minutes ago. Did really well, and again, we want people to please donate to Cherokee, Cherokee County Young's YOUNG '(s) massage parlor survivor. please go to his GoFundMe account. We got to get him some therapy. He has a young son that he wants to raise. He admits that, after speaking to someone, that he may have triggers. So he wants to prevent that by going to counseling and having someone to help him. I just think that, again, you're an amazing guy, and I'm saying that because you are actually seeking therapy. And I don't want to get into more of those questions because I just wanted you to come on here, tell your story, and for us to see how we can help. And, just reading, which is so true, that Chris B is saying that you're describing a scene from a movie, and it almost feels like cut, and
Mm-hmm.
other than the GoFundMe account, what other things would you like the community to do that you can think of?
I really don't know. I never had this question before. I really don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay. And what county do you live in?
I live in Cobb County.
You live in Cobb. Which city in Cobb?
In Kennesaw, but I'm actually about to be moving from this place here, and we're going to be moving to Cherokee County.
Okay, moving to Cherokee. So you said you live in the city of Kennesaw?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to have a conversation then, because after this, we're going to have a conversation. So again, we want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Please, don't forget to subscribe to our page. But more importantly, we want you to donate to his GoFundMe account, Cherokee County Young's ' Massage Parlor Survivor. So tune in next week to our show. And please, if there's anything, I don't come out and ask a lot of you, but we really would like you to donate so he can seek therapy. So without further ado, Marcus, it was lovely speaking with you. I want you to just have an amazing life. We're going to see what we can do on our end. Okay. So this is you. I guess you adopted into our Women Are Worthy family too. You, your son, and your girlfriend. So have a great evening, guys. Bye-bye.